Hey everyone, how you all doing? Welcome or welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new writing vlog. If this is the first video that you are clicking on of mine, hello, my name is Brittany and I am a YA romance author and I recently signed with a literary agent. I'll link down below my recent writing vlogs as well as my publishing journey playlist if you guys want to see how I got my literary agent. I vlogged the entire 4-year experience, so I will leave all of that down below if this is the first video that you're seeing from me or if you're just a little behind in uploads, but welcome. So I am currently working on edits from my agent on my book What You Mean to Me. It's a YA romance about my main character Maisie, who is an aspiring concert photographer, and her ex-boyfriend Christopher, who is a huge pop star, and they are thrust back together after a couple of years apart, and they have to decide if, you know, they should get back together or not. That was a really bad description, I'm sorry. I was not expecting to give a little pitch right then, but I'm excited because today we are continuing on with revising the ending of the book. I left off the last vlog struggling a little bit with the ending, so it was going so well, guys. Like, it was going so extremely well and it had to come crashing down at some point. Okay, it could not be smooth sailing the entire time. So I basically realized that while I was extending Christopher's POV and extending his story, I was not giving Maisie the same treatment, and so the timeline wasn't making sense. It felt a little unbalanced, so I had to go back to try to like bulk up Maisie's parts to mesh with Christopher's, and that's where all the struggle started to come in. So I've taken a couple of days off, mainly because I got my period and I did not feel like working, and then I also worked yesterday, so taken a couple of days off. So I'm hoping that I can come back to this with a fresher mind and be able to just like pound through it. It's also my plan that if I can't just pound through it and like break through, it's my plan to just like put something down on the page and then just move on and come back to it later. Because if you haven't seen the vlogs recently, I am starting with the ending of my revisions, the ending of my book, because it's the hardest edits that I have to do. It's the ending needs the most work, and so I wanted to start with that first and then go back to the beginning, do all the smaller edits, read through the whole book, get back to the ending and do further edits, so that hopefully all the first drafty type of scenes and chapters that I had to include, I could then edit them so that they would match the rest of the book, because obviously the rest of the book has gone through multiple rounds of edits and there's a lot of new words in this draft. So that's kind of what's happening right now. I do feel a little discombobulated because I haven't done this in a few days, so I do feel like my flow has broken a little bit, which is unfortunate, but I do feel like taking a couple of days off was necessary. I'm just hoping that I can figure something out. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reread parts of the ending, just, you know, reacquaint myself with the flow of what's happening, and then try to go from there. I'm also wearing my Violet Stone shirt today that I unboxed in my last vlog. My friends gifted this to me as a congratulations gift for signing with a literary agent. Violet Stone is the band in my book that Christopher was a part of with his best friends, but he ended up leaving them to start a solo career, which kind of jumpstarts all the problems that they're dealing with now in the book. So I now have a Violet Stone t-shirt, and so I thought I'd wear it today to kind of inspire myself to get shit done in my book, basically, and hopefully wear it as like a good luck charm in a way. So it's currently 1:57. It's September 15th. I did not say that. It's September 15th, and I'm hoping to kind of really lock in today and get shit done. I'm gonna wear like noise canceling headphones, I'm gonna put music on and just like really try to lock in. Something else I wanted to talk about, I just finished a new Amazon Prime show last night. It's called The Runarounds, and I was trying to find something to watch the other day when I got my period, and I was just kind of scrolling through Amazon Prime and this show came up and I'd never seen it before. Brand new, just came out September 1st, and it's about these like high school graduates and they have a band together, and it's our main character Charlie's like dream to like make something of this band. Like, he doesn't want to go to college, he really wants to like commit to his music dream, and so it's basically his goal to make the band something by the end of the summer before all of his friends kind of go their separate ways to like work or go to college. And it was phenomenal. Like, I had zero expectations going into it, but when I saw it on Amazon Prime, I was like, okay, this is a show about a band, it's music, it's high school graduates, so like same age as my characters. I was like, maybe, you know, if anything, this could serve as like some motivation or some inspiration for my book to kind of, you know, relight that fire under my butt to like work on it. And my goodness, like, it was so good. Like, I'm currently obsessed. I'm considering rewatching it because I loved it that much. I was literally just listening to the soundtrack, and I also found out that they're a real band. Like, they were brought together with the intention of like being a real band and then making a show based off that band. They're currently on tour, so like that's just like the coolest thing. So like to know that we're gonna get more music from them outside of the show, and hopefully they'll get renewed for a season 2 and we'll get more music from that. Like, I'm living my best life. It was so good, and it was very inspiring because I feel like in a way Charlie from the show and the main character Maisie are very similar in the fact that they just want to chase their dreams and they know what they want and they want to go after it. And Maisie is very similar to Charlie in the way that like he doesn't want to go to college. Like, his parents are excited for him to go to college, they want him to go, and he hasn't told them that he's actually rejected the only school that accepted him, so he's kind of like hiding the secret from them the whole season. Maisie, my main character, has like a deal with her parents where she has to make something of herself as a concert photographer by the end of the summer, or she has to go to college. And that's something that I'm working on in edits, is strengthening that plot. But it's just, it's funny how like the parallels came about from my book to the show. As I was watching, I was like, wow, like it's truly just a show about these kids chasing their dreams and doing whatever it takes to, you know, defy their parental expectations and just do what they love because they believe in themselves and they believe in what they're doing and what they're making. And even though Maisie is a concert photographer, she's not a musician, I feel like her and Charlie were quite aligned in that way. And then we also have a main character, Christopher, who is chasing that dream of being in the spotlight and, you know, making music, but he's struggling with it. And I just, I don't know, I feel really inspired, and I really loved the show. I 100% recommend it. You should definitely check it out. It was so good, and I'm just obsessed with the cast, and like I found myself like getting emotional while watching just because I loved the band so much. Like, their friendship was so beautiful and pure, like the way they just like supported and loved each other. It was just like really fun to see, like this group of boys just like loving each other. I don't know, it was super cute. There's also a really hilarious scene where they're singing The Climb by Miley Cyrus from like the Hannah Montana movie in the car, and I just literally could not stop laughing. I was laughing so hard I was crying because I just wasn't expecting it. It was just so absurd and hilarious. Anyways, so I just like, I don't know, I felt like I needed to refill my creative well because I haven't made time for reading recently. I haven't been watching like any new shows or movies. I've just kind of been like rewatching Gilmore Girls while playing games on my phone. So I feel like I haven't been prioritizing the refilling of my creative well, and I feel like last night really kind of like helped that for me by watching this show, and I'm just obsessed with it currently. So I don't know, I just wanted to mention that because it felt really relevant to the kind of headspace that I'm in at the moment. So I'm gonna try to get work done on this. I'm nervous, I'm scared, I want to move forward. Like, I cannot be stuck here anymore. The deadline that I've set for myself for finishing the ending is the 22nd of September. My actual deadline for all the edits is October 10th. That's the deadline me and my agent agreed upon. It is flexible, but I really want to be done by that date. So I'm working real hard. So I have how many days? I don't even know, let me check. 7 days, I have a week. I could just looked at that, it's a week that I have to finish this ending, and I think that I can do it if I can just move past this godforsaken part where I'm trying to like bulk up Maisie's chapters. So I just need to like lock the fuck in and get this shit done so that I can move on. Like right now, this is the ending, and I am currently back on chapter 50 essentially. So like I did these ones and now I'm jumping back to chapter 50 because I realized I need to bulk up Maisie, and so this chapter actually now is not completed, but these are all the chapters that I have to go after I figure out Maisie's shit. So very stressful. I'm nervous. Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm nervous, but now I'm just procrastinating. So I'm gonna lock the fuck in, I'm gonna get this shit done, and I'm ready to move on. Okay, like I just want to be able to read through the entire book, see how the edits that I've made fit in with the rest of the story. I'm just very excited, so I'm gonna get to work. Okay, it is now 5 p.m. I locked in. Okay, I managed to go over the chapters and everything, and I came up with like a semi-solution. I did not complete one of the scenes that I wanted to complete for Maisie, but I did put like a placeholder and be like, finish this scene later, I have no idea what to do here and it's crappy, and I like highlighted it to make sure that I don't miss it when I go back through. but I really needed to continue working. Like I'm so tired of getting hung up on like this stuff, and I decided to like adopt my like drafting mindset of like, I can come back to it, I can fix it, because I can. Like, I'm going to be going through this book again. This isn't the last time I'm going to be looking at these things. Like, before I give it to my agent, I'm going through it again, maybe twice, you know? So like, it's going to be fine. I'm going to look at it and it's gonna be great. So I decided to adopt that mindset and just keep on going so I could like finish the rest of it. Now, what chapter did I just finish? I also need to make sure that all these like chapter numbers make sense. Maybe I'll do that real quick before I like move on, but according to this is chapter 53. I don't know if that actually is chapter 53, but we shall see. What was the last one that I colored in? It's 52. So I can now color in 53 and move on to 54. I'm changing things and we're gonna see if it works, but I did some brainstorming for how the rest of the end of the book is gonna go, and I think it's gonna be fine. I am making some substantial changes in it. It's so weird because I feel like the ending of this book has been like solidified for so long, like the way that it was, and the first draft of this book was very rough. Like, it was very minimal, didn't have a lot of stuff to it, so almost everything from that first draft stayed going into other drafts, but they were just like expanded upon and made better and like bulked up in all these things, and I had things slotted in between to like make it good. But for all intents and purposes, I'm pretty sure like most of the first draft, all those scenes were still in the book, and now I'm like drastically changing things and changing how they were, and it's so satisfying. But it's so strange because while at the core the book is still like relatively the same, a lot of things are changing, and it's gonna, I feel like, look so different, and I'm so excited to like go back through and see these changes and see what it looks like now from start to finish. It's just, I feel very excited about it all. It's almost dinner time, so I think I'm going to maybe try to get another chapter in before dinner, and then we shall see. But good progress has been made today. Like, I've finally broken through the little rut that I was in, and now I can keep going, and hopefully I won't hit a rut like that again. I would love smooth sailing from here on out for the ending. That would be superb. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of that writing time was also me like jamming out to the runarounds. Like, I just loving the soundtrack, love this show. I'm like telling everybody I know to watch it, but yeah, like I still locked in. It was just locking in with a lot of like head banging and like mouthing the lyrics that I know to the songs. So having a good time over here, you know. I'm gonna jump back in, and like I said, hopefully things go well. It is September 18th and it's currently 10:09 p.m. Recently, the late night writing has been my jam. It's been where I've been thriving. Honestly, I think it's because recently my parents have been on a vacation from work, and so we tend to like do things during the day or they distract me, and so writing at night just has been working out better for me recently, which is kind of nice. I used to only really write at nighttime. I think mainly because I used to be in school, and so like night was like the only time I had to write. But also, I don't know, I feel more creative at night. I feel more energized at night. I don't know, I'm definitely a night owl as opposed to like a morning person, which is unfortunate. So I haven't updated for a couple of days because I just didn't feel like being on camera. But today has been a good day. Me and my family finally went out to celebrate me getting an agent, which was really exciting. So we went to a steakhouse and I got a steak, which is like my favorite meal to eat out, and it was just really nice to like sit there with my family and like have them tell me that they're proud of me and just finally celebrate with them this amazing thing that's happened for me that felt like it was never going to happen. Like, my mom promised me years ago when I was like breaking down to her about how hard querying was, she promised me that she would take me out to a nice dinner when I finally got an agent. And even though she did not remember saying this, I remembered, and I held on to that for years as like a little, you know, thing to keep me going. Like, I can get a nice dinner. It's a little silly, but yeah, that's like probably one of the last celebrations that I'm gonna have for getting an agent. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do anything else, but it's been really nice celebrating. So I'm kind of like in a good mood. I feel inspired. Peyton also just uploaded a new writing vlog, which is really exciting. So I watched that right before starting this clip to also kind of get me inspired and in the mood. I love putting on an authortube video before a writing session to kind of motivate me and get me excited. Seeing somebody else writing and, you know, going after their dreams like really gets me inspired. So yeah, but I have been writing. I didn't write yesterday, but I wrote the day before. I don't remember when I last updated, but I've made progress. I am now about to start chapter 57. I basically made a change where I was gonna have like a Christopher chapter in between 2 Maisie chapters, but then it didn't really feel right, so I skipped the Christopher chapter and put 2 Maisies back to back. And now I'm gonna, I think, combine the 2 Christopher chapters together. I think it's just gonna work better. So now I need to find a way to adjust the original scene into this new one. Because I've added so much and I've changed circumstances of things, it requires a lot of changing and switching things around that have been like solidified in the book for like drafts now. So it's a little bit weird doing new things, but I'm excited. So I just want to do like a check-in of, you know, how many chapters we have left to go, what's going on, how many new scenes do I still need to write, because there are a few new scenes still that I need to add. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chapters theoretically that I still need to add. I'm not sure if this has changed at all. Like in all the changes that I've made, I don't know if there is like less chapters now. We're gonna see, but these might not all be able to be colored in. It kind of depends. So we're gonna see what the chapter situation ends up looking like, what the breakdown is. But theoretically, I have 6 chapters left, and that's very exciting. It's very exciting. I'm ready to get to the end of these edits. As a reminder, my deadline that I've given myself to do the ending is the 22nd. So that's only a small handful of days away, and my mom is getting me to do some stuff with her tomorrow, and then I work for a few hours on Saturday. I need to get my nails done at some point in the next couple of days. I also need to edit a YouTube video at some point, one of my writing vlogs. Anyways, new scenes, new chapters. How many do I need to write? The next one's a new Christopher one, so I'm like basically taking something from the old draft, mixing it in with a new scene, so that's gonna be interesting. So there's a new Christopher scene. The next Maisie one is not a new scene, but there are adjustments I need to make to it to kind of work with the new circumstances, because there are definitely things in the original scene that aren't gonna work. The next Christopher one is the same, it just has some changes that are gonna need to be made. I added a change to the next Maisie chapter after that, chapter 60, so that one is going to be changed. Oh, and that's it. Just 3 new scenes that I need to add, and the rest is good. This is going to be good. This is gonna be good. I think I can potentially even finish this early. We're gonna see how well the writing goes tonight, because I don't want to go to bed too late. Not only because I have things to do tomorrow and my mom wants to go out early, but I also like work at 9 a.m. on Saturday, and I've been having issues waking up early because of these late night writing sessions. So we're gonna see, but I might be able to finish this maybe on Saturday, which would be what, the 20th? So that would be 2 days early, which would be real nice. And then I can go back to the beginning. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but I have a lot of shifts coming up. I've been scheduled a lot, which is amazing. Yay, money, love it. It's just unfortunate that it's happening at the same time as my deadline, and I know I can change my deadline. I don't want to. I like my deadline. I want to stick to it. It just means I need to be a bit stricter with myself on getting the work done and not dilly-dallying. Unfortunately, the runarounds has been taking over my life a little bit. I'm currently rewatching it with my mom. It's the only music that I'm listening to. Would not be surprised if they somehow end up on my Spotify Wrapped this year. That's how much I've been listening to them. I'm procrastinating, which I feel like is how I end a lot of these clips, but I'm ready to jump in to this next Christopher chapter, try and figure it out. I'm gonna go through the original scene, figure out what is there that I can keep, and I don't know how I want to do that. Like, I don't know if I just want to like look at it and then just figure out what I can pull as I'm drafting up the new scene, or if I want to like take all the lines I want to keep and put it into the new draft. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna figure it out. I feel like every time I sit down to do a revision session, the process changes a little bit and what works for me changes. Like sometimes I need to work in a completely separate document, like to the old draft, to the new draft. Like it just needs to be like a completely blank document. Like right now I have a document going on that just has like a hodgepodge of like different scenes and chapters that I've been working on that I will probably end up saving. Right now it's not saved, which is really not good of me. I also need to back up these files because I haven't done that in a long time. Anyways, where I've just been like figuring out scenes in this document, and I should probably save it just in case there's anything in there that I might need one day, but my brain feels like a very frazzled mess, and the way that I'm deciding to work right now feels a little chaotic, but it's fine. I'm getting the job done. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna get to work. I'm gonna listen to the runarounds, which I'm very excited about. Oh my god, wait, Lewis Capaldi also released a new song today that I want to listen to. Okay, maybe I'll procrastinate for like 4 minutes, listen to Lewis Capaldi's new song, and then I'll get into writing. That sounds like a good plan. So that's what I'm gonna do. I will try to update you guys as I go, but I think the main goal for tonight is at least to do chapter 57, since it's technically combining 2 chapters, and maybe try to do chapter 58. We're gonna see. It really depends on how hard this chapter fights me and how difficult it is. So I'll update you guys as we go along. It's now 12:35 and I did not finish a chapter at all. I started working on it and then I spent a long time on Google Maps following a route because I wanted to know like what to mention, because they're in London but they're not seeing much of London, because the way I wrote it, they basically go from like the airport to the venue, and so I needed to know like what London-y type things would they see from the airport to the venue. So I basically went on Google Maps and did the street view, the entire like 40 to 50 minute route, to see what kind of landmarks we were passing so that I could write one singular line about it. Yeah, that probably took over half an hour. I don't even know. It took quite a while for literally one line, so love that. I might add more later. I still have the tabs open and stuff, but one stinking line. And then I continued the chapter, and then I realized there was a bit of a plot hole with the way that I changed things, because I basically took out a scene that I had earlier in the book and I was going to try to incorporate it in a different way, and there was a plot hole, and so I had to go back into the book and find a way to reincorporate that scene that I took out with the new context of how I changed the scene. And so I just finished doing that, and I think it's okay. I'm gonna have to read over it because I do think it feels a little jarring, but it's probably just because I know that it wasn't originally there and like things change. Like sometimes I don't know if it's like as obvious to other people as it is to me that I'm like Frankensteining parts together, because obviously I know what it looked like before, so I'm like, is it obvious that like this is not where this was originally? And I don't know, it's just one of those joys of writing and revising. But then I tried to come back to the scene that I was currently writing and realized, one, I'm really tired because it's late and I want to go to bed, and two, that I don't fully know now how to transition into the rest of this scene. So I'm gonna call it a night, even though I did not finish a chapter. I still got work done, you know, I still made progress. And I'm gonna return to this tomorrow, hopefully not super late. That would be ideal. And I would like to return to this chapter and get it done. I wrote some notes for myself of some things that I would like to do that I just don't have the brain capacity to do at this moment. So hopefully I'll be able to wrap up this chapter tomorrow, and then Maisie's chapter, the next one. Yeah, I would love to just like bang out like a couple of chapters tomorrow so that I can get as close to finishing this as possible. That would be lovely. Like realistically, the only plans I have tomorrow are going out with my mom in the morning, early afternoon, potentially getting nails done, and then finishing up the rewatch of the runarounds that I'm doing with my mom. I think that I can do it. Like, this is like a dumb little deadline that I gave myself within my deadline, so like it's fine. I just need to make sure I'm giving myself enough time to work on the rest of the book and going over the ending again before my October 10th deadline. I'm disappointed that I couldn't finish this chapter today, but shit happens. I'm Frankensteining a bunch of shit together, trying to add new stuff, and there's gonna be complications with that, and I unfortunately encountered some complications tonight. I'm going to go to bed, and I will hopefully chat with you guys tomorrow when I get so much work done. Like, I better get so much work done tomorrow. it's September 19th. The next day I told you guys I would update, and I'm here. I just finished the ending. For like all intents and purposes, I just finished the ending. That's crazy. That's crazy. So I can officially start comparing it to the last draft, the one that I queried with, even though I still have to go back to the beginning of the book and do those edits as well. But the previous draft was 80,376 words, 317 pages. This new draft with the revised ending is sitting at 86,099 words, 340 pages. Like, that's crazy. I added 5,723 words into this draft. 5,723. Okay, I'm okay with that. Like, I thought it was gonna be 85,000 words, so just 1,000 more words is not that big of a deal, but that's crazy. Overall, I'm happy with the ending, but I obviously don't know what it looks like as a whole, and especially in context with the rest of the book. So that's gonna be the next step, is going back to the beginning, implementing all of those smaller edits, and seeing what this ending looks like. I do think potentially these last few chapters will need some more work, but it's done. It's done for now. So I'm gonna take the rest of the night off. I might even let myself take tomorrow off, and then just get back into work on Sunday. I don't know, we're gonna see how I feel after I come home from work tomorrow, but wow, guys, it's done. That was crazy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be done. From what I can remember, I'm really happy and proud of what this ending has turned out to be. I do think in general it is stronger than the last ending, so hopefully I still feel the same way when I reread it and read it with the rest of the book. But what a wild journey this was. There were ups, there were downs. It's usually how it goes with writing, but thank you guys so much for coming along this journey with me. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a huge thumbs up, comment down below and let me know what you've been up to writing wise recently. Subscribe if you have not yet already. I've got more writing vlogs coming your way, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!